She discovered there was more to be discovered of self and how to perceive our lives personally and professionally. She continued her passion in the world of psychotherapy and is also a certified life and business coach. Through the years, Deborah's been able to fuse her knowledge in both Tibetan spirituality and modern science. She's a founder of Yeru Health and Wellness and counsels clients throughout the world. She gives lectures and retreats in her own retreat center here in Minnesota for CFOs and CEOs, and also works with business owners and managers of businesses from all around the world. How cool is that? It's fun. She's one of 5 women, and I can't wait to hear a little bit more about this, but 5 women around the world who, with the support of Menri Monastery and approximately 25 geishas, the equivalent of a PhD, shares this extensive knowledge to help people improve their personal and professional lives. She loves bringing her knowledge to workplaces as a motivational speaker, helping to bring out the best of her clients for their personal and business life. With that, I'd love to have all of you join me in welcoming Deborah.
That was really very sweet. Thank you. So a little bit more about me, so you can have an idea. Okay. All right. So as she mentioned, I'm a retired nurse, medical student, quit medical school so that I could take care of a sick husband and 3 children who needed me desperately, and I could not do it all. That was 25 years ago. And so then I went back to school and studied psychology. I had already graduated with a minor in psychology and just continued my studies into psychotherapy and therapy. And then I discovered coaching like 5-6 years ago. Met several coaches who the limitations of coaching is very different from therapy sessions. You have to deal with insurance companies and the legalities of everything else like that. And what I was really doing was motivating people to step up, take charge of their life, figure out what's going on in their lives to improve their lives, not only in personal, but in business as well. And so I've always been with the premise that psych is in psychotherapy or psychiatry or anything else like that really means breath, spirit, and soul in Greek. And so if you can think about that, that's our everyday, that's our every moment in our lives, how we walk, how we manage our lives. And so I've kept that. I've studied Tibetan spirituality for 15 years because my husband along the line was one of the first Americans to go to this monastery, Tibetan monastery, in the early 80s. And so it was an extinct 18,000 years. It's been proven. The Dalai Lama has spoken that it's the oldest Buddhism religion, actually pre-Buddhism, because Buddhism comes into like 12,000, something like that. So, and it has grown. The benefit that I received is because David was one of the first persons, he had these teachers coming to our home and staying in our home. And so I got to learn some of these things. And it was like, I was manic. I was always had anxiety attacks. I wanted the perfect mother, the perfect everything. And he would say, take a deep breath. What, at the end of the day, what are you doing? You look silly angry. Just relax. Or why are you holding on so tight to something that it's not going to matter 10 years from now, 20 years from now? So I have that benefit of meeting. So throughout these years, I've got to meet more lamas. I've gone to India, to the monasteries. I am one of 5 women in the U.S. and around the world who's going to teach the wisdom. And I don't teach Tibetan spiritualism. It's very different. You have to go to school for 12 years at a monastery. And, it's too late for me to do that. So, but I liked a lot of what they brought in. And I liked how it works out with my clients when we talk about some of these wisdoms, if you will. Okay. So I studied it. I'm not Tibetan. I'm not Buddhist. I'm actually a Latin Lutheran, and very proud of that. So, but I like it. And my pastors, they all like it. They love it. They love hearing it. They love meeting these monks because it's almost the same. It's just different language. That's it. Okay. So Outside of that, I have learned to fuse both Tibetan spirituality and modern science into my practice. So what I've come to is, we call it the 5 poisons, but for purposes of business, I call it the 5 modalities. These are 5 issues in our daily life that affects us on a daily basis. It could be anger, attachment, ignorance, pride, and jealousy. We all have it. Can someone tell me that they don't have this on at least once or twice a week? A little pang of jealousy, some anger, some attachment. Who knows? It is. Can I ask someone to just hold this for me? And I just hold it. Great. Can you just hold it? How would you like to hold it? A little higher.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you want me to just hold on to it.
And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. So you take all of these pieces, they all dance together. They're all interconnected. You have anger because you may be jealous of something. You may have anger because there's something that you're holding on to, an idea, a thought, and no one is acknowledging it in your company or your home. And so, and the same goes for ignorance and pride. Pride I put together with ego. We all have a little ego in ourselves, okay? And so they interconnect. And so the task is to learn to dance, do the dance. And I call it dynamic dance instead of a static dance. I know people say, oh, we have to balance mind, body, and spirit. Impossible to have one flat board balance. It's just impossible. Life just moves, okay? And so it moves a lot, especially in business. You can't always be joy, joy, joy in a meeting that may be heated or struggling, or a company that's struggling. So you have to learn to do the dance. So when we talk about anger, think about it. When you're angry, it's not pretty. I mean, it's just not pretty when someone is angry. You lose perspective, you lose judgment. Make bad choices. How many have said to yourselves, oh, I wish I wasn't so, I wish I didn't blow that. I blew it. I made a bad choice because I was angry and I wanted to make my point. It was attached to your thought process and you lose it. So in communications, when you're dealing with a finance company and you want to bring your company up to possibly do financing and get to the next level, and you have a conversation and the banker says, your company's not worth how much you think it is. And you're angry, and so you're waiting for an offer to come, you've got it up for sale. First offer is just terrible. And you're upset, you're even more upset. Second offer comes in, and it's even worse. And you're angry because you what? You're attached to that company, you're attached to an illusion or being a little ignorant. We're going to come back to that later. So what you need to do is realize that your anger is kicked. Now, everyone gets angry. I've been known to get angry and say in front of a negotiation table for a client and say, excuse me. And I'm walking out, I'm doing the dance of being angry. That guy is just impossible, or that woman is just terrible. Walk away. Because then I can just go ahead and check myself and put yourself back into perspective. What's the end game? Okay, am I going to go back in there and look stupid, having a tirade and say, you know what, this deal's over, I don't like it, keep going? No, you're going to collect yourself, you're going to go back into that meeting and say, all right, let's do the rest of this. Or you're going to talk to them and say, I don't agree with you. Tell me where you're coming from. Listen to the other side. And then go home. And you think about it for a couple of days. And you may say, okay, that really is, he's right, I should take that deal, I should go ahead and or hire that person that I don't know that I really want to hire. Whatever you're trying to figure out, take the time to not have a response made out of anger, because you really do lose perspective and judgment, and you could lose something even worse than that later. Okay, you spoil relationships and you make bad choices. So, suggesting that you basically say, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to process it. And then I'm going to make my decision on an informed basis. You're going to go back and say, am I wrong? here we are with attachment. You have to ask yourself, what are you really holding on to?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay. And what are you really holding on to? Many times people will say to you, I've got this idea and I don't want to think about any other option. This is what I want. I want this cup to be made exactly like that. And I want it done this way. How I tell you I want it done. This is my baby, my idea, I want this. How does it feel to hold that?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was listening.
Is it heavy?
It's the same as I started holding it.
Didn't work, but that's okay. You had to hold it out this way and I wasn't paying attention. The idea is that the weight of your idea always stays constant, okay? What changes is the direction that you take to get there. So when you think about attachment, you're holding on to something, you're grasping to that idea, and you don't want to give the idea up. The reality is it's probably an amazing idea. But what you have to think about is, am I choosing the right path to get there? Okay, I once owned a company, and I wanted those ideas. It was my style. I owned horses, and I was going to make blankets for A-rated horse shows, because these are horses that go to the World Championship and Kentucky Derby horses, and I had an idea, and I created it from scratch. But I kept butting myself up and saying, this is what I want. Why am I not getting my employees to do this? Someone guided me through and said, why are you getting upset? See what they have to say. They're the seamstresses, you don't know how to sew. And it was true. I didn't know how to sew and sew children's clothes for my kids. And once I started to realize that there were ideas that were coming forward, it was amazing. It was amazing. Productivity was better. I was getting my bottom line. I was talking, I was communicating, and I was being open to other options to get to my end game. And so if you can take a look back and say, why am I stuck? Why am I here? Why am I at a crossroad? And you can actually say, okay, I'm stuck on this. I need to have another option. And be able to communicate with someone or go to a group or a session like this, after you leave here, you may go out in the room outside and say hello and talk, and they may have the same problem. But it's always good to talk with each other. So learn to let go of what you are holding on to that's keeping your company from moving forward. Find another direction. We all want to make money. That's the whole purpose why we work, correct? We have to provide for our kids, our colleges, our home life, our car, whatever the case may be. We're not doing this, all of your work. I mean, is anyone here doing it because you don't want money? You just want to go ahead and just do what you're doing? No. So figure out, because your income and your company's income is dependent upon you being smart and thinking wisely and stepping back and saying, okay, what is the real problem? And being honest with yourself to say, money's not coming in, why? Is it production? Is it employees? It gives you the ability to assess what's going on and to move forward. So when you think about your idea, are you holding it too tight? Are you not getting help to take another path? Ignorance. I love this here. And a lot of people say, oh, my clients will say, I'm not ignorant. Okay, ignorance can mean a whole lot of stuff. Okay, the bottom line is we don't know everything. We don't. We know a fraction of what we are learning about, and there is so much more in any category of life. Okay, example, I actually studied for 15 years. I know that David has been doing this for 30-something years, and we were recently in India at the monastery and for a conference and for other events that were happening, and I left feeling humbled. As much as I've studied, as much as I have hosted, and I have done retreats for both the monks and for business, I left realizing that I only knew a fraction of what I had been studying. And they do it for 12 years. And it's like, rise in the morning at 6 o'clock, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning, and they don't stop until 7. And it's repetitive for them. Same with us. Sometimes we think we know everything about our company, our business, our finances, our investments, our employees. We don't. We really don't. And that creates the difference between facts and reality. So to get past that, you want to be able to ask your questions to yourself and then confirm them with someone else. So again, you have someone who wants to sell his business and he goes and doesn't understand why he's only getting one low offer and one that's even less. And so the broker says, I don't get it. Why are you upset? Your finances do not dictate what your company is worth. This is what you want. You want 300 and something, we want to come up with a number of $350,000, but your company's only worth $150,000. Why are you saying this? He says, no, this is how much I brought in last year, but he didn't take into account what the costs were, employees, taxes, all of that stuff. He was basing it on there. The broker says, why? He says, because I just bought a house and I need $350,000. Period. Well, that falls right into the reality, fact, he was really being a little foolish with himself, correct? Also, ignorance can create self-awareness, lack of. So when you walk into a meeting and you want to hire an executive or a CFO, you have to do your due diligence. You have to check them. If you want to have financing or you want to, just about anything you want to do, if you're trying to get your company to the next level and grow and expand, you don't want to be labeled or have yourself that internal ignorance flash go off. Learn, study, think about it, talk to people. The other thing is, if you come in and, let's say, I'm sorry, what's your name? Carol comes in and she's going to meet with Sarah about her company going up and she wants financing. Carol's trying to raise $200,000 for a project that she's trying to do, and Sarah is her financier. And she's going to ask all kinds of great questions because it's her job to not let money out the door without making sure that it's solid, that it's good. But Carol comes in and says, well, I've got this and I've got that, and so that kind of falls in the ignorance if you're not 100% sure, and Sarah's going to know it. And she's going to say, deal's off. If you can't come to me with the right information that I need, I can't give you $200,000. And so that is another dance. And then what happens here, you go back to anger, resentment, because she's working hard, she's working her butt off, and she's ready to take it to the next section, but she was only focused on making this coffee cup and not focused on what it takes to make that coffee cup and all the values that are needed, okay? And false knowledge, never come into false knowledge. False knowledge just means that you just make up some random statement and you just kind of put it out there and hope that no one sees or acknowledges. You go in there and your ego is all nice and big, you go to a meeting, you're networking and you're talking, oh yeah, I've got this great company, it's just this close to being $100,000 or a $500,000 brand company, correct? And it's not. The total value is probably $50,000 when you think about it, okay? And so we don't want to bring false knowledge into any relationship, because as Sarah and Carol here have met together and they want to do financing, they may see each other at another networking meeting, they may have business down the line. Keep it real. You're gonna keep it, that is my suggestion, is to keep it real. When the clients come in and say, oh, I blew it, I'm not gonna get the loan that I wanted, and it's just terrible. Well, let's talk about it. What did you say? And it's like, did you keep it real? Were you real about it? Did you do your homework? She says, no, I thought it was in the bag because I am me. I'm this person, and just finding a loan should just get me in the door. And talked a little bit about ego a little bit ago. I tell everyone to check themselves daily. And you go into a meeting, even with your kids, you go to school, you're going to meet an important financier like Sarah and go and talk about money. All of these fit in the category of be humble. You don't know what's on the other side of that negotiating table. You don't know who's on the other side of that email that you're communicating with or the phone. So check your image, check your self-image, keep it real. Be who you are, because that's going to be more productive for you later. If they say, Vera, she's amazing. I've met her so many times and she's been real and she's been calm and now she needs help with bringing her company to the next level. I could possibly refer her to David and say, David, there's this woman that I know is an office center and she needs a good business attorney. And could you meet with her? She's real. You're going to get more help because even if David says, that's not quite what in my category, but he can say, but my colleague here could bring you because you've kept it real. If I say, oh, that Vera, watch out. She's just, tells it and she's all full of her stuff and her company is grand and Fortune 500,000 company. She's knocking on the door of being titled that way. They're not going to be willing to help because you wouldn't be staying in an office center. You wouldn't be, just wouldn't be. It would be in a completely different genre of business people and work, okay? So, and don't underestimate the other's value. It's really important. Many times I have seen where people in a group, in a setting, wherever I may be, and someone will come and say, that person is such a sloppy person, I don't even know why he's here. Well, sometimes I've turned around and said, that person is just kind of keeping it simple. That's really is. He's a really nice guy, and he's a CEO of Best Buy. Okay? And so she's just kind of like, oh no. And I said, yeah, you just kind of offset him the way you looked at him. So don't think that you're here at this beautiful Best Buy location and that he's going to go ahead and give you any notice. Because when you judge people and they feel it, they remember, and so you never know who you're talking to, really. And by the way, even if that person does not have any real company, any real value, anything, that is still a person. And that could be the one person who can actually, you could come and talk to about a specific problem and be your best friend later. And we all could use a couple of good friends, okay, in business and personal life. Just do. Jealousy. Jealousy is a mirrored image. Okay? It's a mirrored image of ourselves. If someone is jealous, I'm not sure I like Charles. Okay? And but you don't know why. You have to ask yourself why. Why don't you like him? And I talk to a friend of mine or a client and say, what? Why do you feel that way? Well, he was just brought in, he's been hired. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure out the why into why you don't like Charles. What has he done to you? Nothing. He just comes in and he's good looking and he's talented and he's got all of this momentum going, and he says, I can't compete with that. I'm like, okay. So could it be that you are actually jealous because he has all of the skill sets that you want or desire to have or thought you had? And someone comes in and the boss says, Charles, can you do this? And Charles is getting it done right away. So what I tell my client is, ask yourself, did you kind of slow down your momentum with your company? And maybe that's why they're replacing you with Charles or bringing him in. Think about what it is that Charles has that is bothering you, because he could be a good person, smart person who can actually elevate you as well. So when you think about jealousy, when someone says jealousy, ask yourself, but why are you jealous of this person? Because there's really no other reason to be jealous. If you look about the Tibetans or the Catholicisms or Lutheran Christianity, in business, jealousy is just competition and it holds no purpose. Because a company cannot thrive with competition like that internally. Okay, there's always competition with two like companies and you're trying to rise above each other. But inside, you gotta be cohesive because if not, your company's just not healthy that way. Low self-esteem. What's the self-esteem? You have to ask yourself, why am I self-conscious with this person? Sarah is wearing a great jacket, and I wish I had that. That doesn't mean that I can't have what she has. Doesn't mean like I can't be as good as Charles if I just applied myself. So you have to, again, ask yourself, am I dropping the ball here? I could be as good as Charles, maybe not better, maybe even better than Charles. It's how you apply yourself. But being jealous, it's just not cohesive with your workspace. The other thing with jealousy, you can go in and tell your boss or your finance, I don't like this person, I don't like Charles, it's really not the person that I want. Next thing you know, you're out. I've seen it a lot, okay? I've seen it a lot. You have a lot of CEOs and a lot of business owners who just won't tolerate that now. There's a shift, there's a dynamic shift that's going on where companies, you see Google, and I actually like some of their stuff, a lot of their stuff, and that you need to work with each other, you need to accept each other and work cohesively, and that's how you're moving forward. Whereas before, 20, 30 years ago, I worked in the hospital, and they loved that. These doctors loved that going because it gave them an ego, if you will. That's changing. It's changed a lot. In hospitals now, they're a lot more passive and accepting. A lot of big corporations. I know that I've spoken with David a lot with some of his clients, and it's like, yeah, it's a completely different world with this dynamic with this company. They're taking it to a completely different area and they're more productive. And acceptance, we talked about acceptance. So I call it the dance. I call it a dynamic dance. If you put in all of the modalities that we talked about, they're all interconnected. Separate rubrics for you. I've also added in company life in there and you. So what I tell my clients and what I talk to when I go in and I ask to go into a company or a corporation, you need to learn to do the dance. You need to do self-evaluations every day. Not for just your business, but just for me personally. I believe that in one area of your life is disrupted, whether it's through finance, whether it's relationship, all areas of your life is disrupted. So if you're not content with yourself internally as a person, how do you expect your company to be moving forward and thriving? Because you just bring that right along with you. It's like baggage. Okay, it's like a shell. You have to learn to do the dance in yourself and be a little bit more creative. So, really, this is kind of a short teaching, and I know that for the most part, we're taught. This is like a 2-day that I just crammed in 1 hour, if you will. And so I challenge everyone here. Maybe this is not your thing, and that's okay. This is more based on wisdoms and if you check and you Google how companies are changing, you're going to see it. So if you told yourself, okay, for the next 30 days, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to think about, maybe you say your prayers or you do your meditation, whatever it may be, and you think about, how am I dealing with this issue? Am I angry? Am I jealous? And see how you could change that. And see how you can apply that to not only your daily life, but also in your business world. If you do that for 30 days, so I'm gonna challenge everyone here to take the time out to think about, am I jealous? Why am I jealous about that person? So that you can see it and feel it, and then call me in 30, my number's right there, it's actually on the sheet here, I think. In 30 days, and say, this was crap. It didn't work at all for me. I learned, okay, what didn't, because I'm gonna ask you questions, why didn't it work for me? Or, this was really helpful. And that also does two things. I learned from various people. Two, you learn. Because if it's helping you and you're a much more creative or balanced person, and by the way, a month is nothing. It's just an exercise. Changing how we perceive our personal and business goal takes time. And how we respond to our anger and our jealousy, pride, and ego, that takes time to learn because you have to actually feel it and see it. So if you know that you're getting angry and like, oh, I'm getting angry, guys, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee, I'm gonna walk around. If you know that you're attaching to something and you know it's not working, and you need this to be done a certain way, and I cannot have you deviate, and they're stuck. People are just scratching their heads saying, we don't get it, we can't do it your way, but we can do it that way. You have to ask yourself, okay, am I letting go? Am I releasing? One, you're gonna be a lot healthier, going to the health part. Statistics have shown, countless statistics have shown, Mayo just finished one as well. When we tend to rearrange our lifestyle to be more productive and more calm, we actually tend to change our bodies physically and our minds. Okay? Anger creates so much damage to our brains and our minds. If you're constantly angry, there's high blood pressure, there's all kinds of stuff. If you learn to change the dynamic or how you perceive your day in business, how's my life going to be at work? So, and by the way, you still need to be a go-getter because in business you still need to be a go-getter, but you're just doing it differently, doing it smarter, you're just doing it in a much more calm way. So health-wise, it does improve your ability to be healthier. I've had clients who came in with terrible diabetes and high blood pressure and all kinds of stuff, and after working with them, they're calm. And they're like, I'm no longer taking the diabetes medication, so that's my job. My job is to let you know what's out there. Your job is to choose whether or not to make those adjustments that you think will be good for you and for your company. So I don't pretend to tell you guys how to run your business. I know nothing about your businesses. I purposely didn't ask about your businesses so that I could be just neutral. All I know about is what I can do to help you as a person to feel better about yourself and move your company to a place. I don't call it being stuck. I don't like the word being stuck. I actually think it's a crossroad. Because when someone tells me that they're stuck, I tell them, okay, which direction do you want to go into? Because it's that simple, although we put that big block on ourselves and we say, no, I can't take that step. And my job is to basically say, yes, you can. Where you want to go. You know what you want to do. Charles knows what he wants to do with his company. And maybe he's kind of like standing still a little bit. All he has to do is think about, where do I want to go if I take this direction? Okay. And always know that if you take one direction and it's not quite doing it for you, then take the other direction. Just don't stand there. So I think that is my talk for the moment. I like the notes that were being taken, and if you guys want to share, anytime I give a talk, and it's all over the place. I just came back from India and Paris, and I'm still responding by email with conversations. Always feel free to just contact me and just say, hey, Deb, I had a thought. I also have put it in a retreat there just because it's there, and the last two were sold out, so if someone wants to come into retreat and go away for a weekend where it's private and woodsy and cabin-like, and I usually have a accountant, a strategizer, an attorney, and a motivator, myself with someone else. And we work for the weekend, so our clients, who are people who are registered, they leave with a plan. And maybe it's not a perfect plan, because I can't tell you what to do with your company, but you have the tools, and you don't have to pay hourly for an attorney or an accountant to do this. You have a whole weekend of being free to ask questions, and they'll talk in the other direction. So when you leave, finished one not too long ago that I absolutely loved. I learned so much from the people that were there. People that were there learned a whole lot because there were so many different business groups that were there. And they communicated. It's like, so-and-so had the same problem, and we're having an open talk. And it's like, we're not in this. So with that, if you have any questions.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Good job. Thank you.
That's not true.
You're not gonna attach.
Yeah, we don't look pretty angry.
You're over attachment.
Yeah, I do have a question. What does
Yeru, I told you I work with a Tibetan monastery, and so I also run Yeru Bone Center. And what that is, it's a center that the monks come and they give teachings or classes or workshops on their beliefs. And so a lot of meditation, they come in, they teach meditations. They have teachings now, for them it would be like Chama. They teach on Chama, which is like for us the Virgin Mary. It's just different languages, but they are amazing. And so Yeru Bone Center's head is right here in Minnesota. And so they constantly have teaching, and I organize their events for the monks that come, and I get monks from all over the world that will come and stay and give retreats.
you go to the hand?
No, I don't, because it's a different set. Yes, this one is Yungan Bone. And so Yeru stands for everlasting peace. That's probably one way to say why. Any other questions? So we're good. So you guys have a great day.
And David that she talks about, want to stand up, David? This would be her husband.
Oh.
That she's taking care of for 30 plus years.
So she had practice.
She had practice, that's right. Thank you, that was awesome.
You're welcome.
So I just have a few little highlights for the month of October. We'll be raising the roof again at Office Centers. We're gonna start next week, the 4th. We have 2 events that day. And we're going to be at Park for Park Networking. A lot of you have been there before. We're getting 30, 40 people and it's an hour and everybody has a chance to bond and raise the roof. You should come, Pat. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That same day, we're gonna be at the Nicollet Island Pavilion for the Minnesota Women's Small Business Expo. There's supposed to be at least 500 attendees at that. So women, and maybe I'm sure that they'll welcome the guys too, but you can come, Tom.
Oh, you don't want to touch. You're jealous.
You can come too, John. We'll get you in. On that Tuesday, it's Slice of Woodbury. So that's on the 16th. And you guys, if you haven't been to Woodbury yet, please, please, please. It is so cool. And we are getting groups of, we're kind of partnered too with the Chamber of Woodbury, which is very supportive. And usually it's 35, 40 people there. And you can check out our new location there. The 18th, we have Business and Brews right here at Minnetonka Office Center. We usually host Thirsty Thursday. We are going to actually co-host now with New Business Minnesota. The board directors are going to be sharing all of their trends and issues in the emerging new marketplace. So we'll be drinking beer and Oktoberfesting after that. So that's going to be a 4 o'clock to 6:30. Jen corrected me, so it's 4 to 6:30. The 25th, PowerLunch again. We're actually at Park Office Center with Don Wolbers. He is with the Top Spin Strategic Partners, and he's going to be talking about a dynamic sales team. We'll be finding out more about that. Blackjack Friday on the 26th. Come win a gift certificate for lunch or $50 if you have a student blackjack.
It's rigged. I never win.
You know what? Next time, John. Next time. Go to France. Jill will take care of you. Tuesday, 10:30. That would be the last event of the month on the 30th, and it's Ben Tice, our Google guru, that's going to be speaking on what's he speaking? Social media overview and strategy of Park. So Thank you, everyone, for coming. That's all of my announcements. Does anybody have any questions? No, but really appreciate your time and very, very thankful to you, my dear.
But you know, I want to say something. I think Office Center is an amazing place.
Yeah.
I've seen other places that we were in past history. Nancy, I'll tell you, she is a gem. I love every morning when I come in and she says good morning and goodbye. And I've known her from Regis, right?
Yeah.
And so I was so happy when she landed here. And Jan, I'm telling you, every time I have a problem, she's just right on there. So my hats are off to you because there aren't a lot of places like Office Center. If you guys have been to any
Yes,
other
agreed.
space.
But who's
Absolutely.
never seen here? Almost everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh, is this cool? We love it. So come check out our website, come to stuff, really, if you haven't seen Woodbury, and like I say, Lori will be, she will be telling us, very soon, it was gonna be 2 days, and that was 2 days ago, so soon, that, the location that we're taking over will be on, it's basically Vernon and 50th, Perkins on Highway 100, and then it would be the south, building to the south of that across from the golf course. So we will have an officially Edina location. So it's all good.
Nice.
Everybody have an awesome day and continue to network if you'd like, and surveys, that would be awesome.
I think we're the only